first, I'd like to thank all of you for joining me today to learn more about how you can accelerate business growth with AIM. First, it's the policy of AIM to conduct its operations in strict compliance with the antitrust laws. No AIM activity shall create even the appearance of a violation of the letter or spirit of the antitrust laws. The AIM collaboration and work product policy states that committee meetings or webinars like today are held for the primary purpose of advancements in our industry, which necessarily involves development of work product intended solely for the public domain. AIM's developed this policy for the protection of its members who engage in this important collaborative effort. Some additional housekeeping notes. Today's webinar is being recorded, as you probably heard. As a registrant, you will be notified when the recording is available. Also, if you have any questions, send them anytime via the Q&A option at the bottom of the application screen. I will answer questions at the end of the webinar. I'm also going to be available if anyone would like a one-on-one to go over certain particulars in greater detail. So I have my email up here for you to take note and reach out to me if you have any questions. So we have a good mix here of members and non-members on this call. Appreciate all of your interest in learning more. Now, I just want to briefly touch on who AIM is and what we do for the automated technologies industry. We are an unbiased and trusted global authority that has been around for 50 years. If you've not seen, and you surely will soon if you have not, AIM turned 50 in 2023. So not only is my background celebrating this, but we'll be having celebrations worldwide throughout the year. I'll get into that a bit more later, but basically we've been around the block and we've been very successful in providing our members a vehicle for global standardization, adoption, and scale. So at the end of the day, what AIM really does for this community is verifying compliance and harmonization, impact digital identification and authentication regulations, develop standards, and provide guidance and technology insight. So again, for the members and non-members, being a part of the AIM network helps not only the world, but your organization enable sustainable, efficient, safe, resilient, and accurate data. Again, AIM's a worldwide organization and we have chapter leadership across the globe. I do want to mention that with AIM membership, you do get access to the AIM North America work groups, which are focused on cannabis, pharma, the food supply, and UDI spaces. And for those who don't know, UDI's unique device identifications. These groups are leading appropriate technology recommendations to implement consensus-based standards in the US in these areas. So moving forward, I want to drill home that industry work group participation is key. As an AIM member, you and your team have access to participate in work group calls. These groups really are the leading force in creating educational pieces as well as standards that drive adoption of AIDC technologies. Joining these groups gives you a seat at the table in developing these, and also just generally gives you the ability to see and hear about the latest trends and standards for the industry. So now I'm going to go into a bit more detail about the major project these groups are working on here in 2023. Again, before I get into that, remember that if you are a member of AIM, anyone on your organization is eligible to be included on these calls. So for instance, you may be interested in RFID, so you would be a fit for that group. But if you know someone who might be a good fit for our group that works on technical symbologies, then we can sign that person up and give them the proper materials to get involved in those activities. So let's get into it with our RFID experts group that I mentioned just a moment ago. This group is responsible for addressing the standards and issues associated with radio frequency identification. So one of the projects we're working on is a review of our AIM document, which is called Reg 396. This is a historical document to see if any updates are necessary to keep it a relevant guide. The document provides background, reference information, and practical knowledge in the selection and verification of the design and manufacturing quality for RFID chips and transponders for tires. We have several tire experts involved in this project. Now, I want to mention too that if something like this interests you, join the call. You may not be a tire expert, but if you are interested, you can gain some knowledge on this interesting item. And furthermore, you may have questions to ask some of the experts that can help truly shape the document to be the best overall piece it can be. As long as you are interested in the subject matter of a group, and I'm talking any that I mentioned today, we want your participation. It adds value to everyone involved. Going along with that, we're doing an update to our data content document. This is a guideline that was written to help system integrators and value-added resellers choose a numbering system for an RFID project. We have several members currently reviewing this document and will be working on possible revisions moving forward. We also have a sensors white paper going over the considerations for what sensors to use in a material handling environment. Currently, this is an outline that we will actually be reviewing on a call later today and then creating next steps for the document. And lastly, we've been working on some interactive frequently asked questions of RFID for a video series. We've been having members in the space record answers to the most interesting questions surrounding RFID, and we've been distributing them on social platforms and on the AIM website. So being involved in projects like these not only help the industry, but gives you and your organization credibility in the space as not only experts on the technologies, but also as an organization that supports properly and effectively using these technologies in the best and most practical ways. Now, I'd like to welcome former RFID Experts Group Chair in Bud Corville, who works with EM Microelectronic. Bud, maybe you can expand some on what I just said and give some insights into your time working with this group and with AIM in general, as I know you participate on our North America work group calls as well.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, I think you did a great job summarizing the focus of the group here and some of the key activities. So it's a good introduction. I think for me, I would just comment it was a great experience for me because not only do you get to meet true experts in the industry, but you also get a broad background. In the case of the RFID Experts Group, we focused on low frequency, high frequency, NFC, smart card type things, as well as UHF RFID, and potentially in the future, getting more involved with even Bluetooth or BLE type technologies. So it's a great place to be an expert, and it's a great group of people to be involved with. So for me, overall, very positive experience, and I would recommend anyone who is an expert or wants to be an expert to join the group. So.
Great, thank you, Bud. Really appreciate those kind words. So moving on to our Technical Symbology Committee, the scope of the AIM TSC is technical specifications in the field of barcode and two-dimensional symbologies such as QR, data matrix, HANS-in. This group just finished up several projects, but is currently working on a revision of our UltraCode standard. So UltraCode is a symbology that is a color 2D matrix style barcode symbology that can encode full 256 character extended ASCIIs, which is an American Standard Code for Information Interchange, basically a character encoding standard for electronic communication. It supports 6 error correction levels, and right now it's looking like this project is heading toward a 30-day public review. We're going to be having a meeting Friday that's going to basically decide whether it is or not ready. That should be finalized very soon, and then you'll be probably hearing the news about that. So be on the lookout, as there will be an announcement once it's ready for that review. When the review is ready, there will be 30 days for organizations and individuals to review and send feedback to the TSC on the project. After all comments are received via an AIM comment form, the TSC will meet and review all comments to reach a resolution, which all commenters will be invited to that call. I also wanted to mention that the AIM TSC also worked closely with standards bodies like ISO, AIDC. We gave recommendations to work group projects on several documents, including a symbology identifier and direct part marking guideline. Now I want to have our TSC chair from 2022, Ray Delnecki, hop in here for a moment to discuss the TSC a bit and how often this group can be a starting point for many standards.
Thanks, Mike. So, generally speaking, in order for ISO to consider an item to be an international standard, there needs to be use of the technology to be shown or proven. They don't take something that has no use or will have no use. So if you, for example, have invented a new barcode, such as the UltraCode that Mike was talking about, it can't go directly to ISO. And this is where AIM and TSC comes in. The Technical Symbology Committee accepts it. If the Technical Symbology Committee accepts the item as a work item, the committee will subject the invention to pretty intense scrutiny. And if it needs to be put into standards language, the committee will work on that. During that time, the barcode will be used and tested, and this acts as an incubator for the ISO process. So we are the beginning of all those barcode standards that you see out there. And again, shameless plug, if anyone has any expertise in barcodes or wants to contribute or even learn more about barcodes and how barcodes get started even, I would recommend joining the TSC. And I guess you can get a hold of Mike at his email in order to do that. But it is very interesting, and you'll find the people that work on the TSC, generally speaking, are the people that work in the ISO process and on the ISO committee, SC31. And they also work, a lot of them will work with the GS1 community as well. So everyone in barcoding is welcome and eagerly welcome to the TSC.
I greatly appreciate that, Ray. And building off what Ray just said, we also will be reviewing a proposed work item on our Friday call. And I don't want to go into detail on that since it's just a proposal at this time and it's not accepted or anything like that. But I did want to mention this because it gives you an understanding on how our groups work at times. And I know Ray talked about this just a little bit, but in this case, a member reached out to us about a potential project. We thought the scope seemed in line with the TSC. So now we're letting the group review the proposal to see if there are next steps to be had. Now, sometimes it can be as simple as a referral to another standard or document being made. Other times it rolls into another project we are working on because it's closely coincides with that, or it can become a full-blown project that an ad hoc will work on. Again, collaboration is key at AIM. So I want to again bring up this proposal because if you and your organization see an issue in this industry that AIM can solve, please bring it to the table and we can work together on this. I've been doing a lot of these interviews for our 50th anniversary. There'll be a lot of videos coming up on our 50th anniversary, and I'll get into that a little bit later on this call. But, Sprague Ackley is one of our members, longtime TSC member, and, he said it best in these videos. I mean, you're working together to solve needs of this industry that helps everyone in the industry. So again, collaboration is key here at AIM. Now, next, I did want to mention SC31 a bit more. I know Ray had mentioned that a little bit there on the TSC portion. AIM's the administrator for this body. And again, I want to have Ray Dalnecki join us here for a moment to discuss AIM's role here with this group.
Okay. This is maybe a little bit convoluted, but hopefully I can explain this simply enough. So SC31, Subcommittee 31, it's an ISO committee dedicated to AIDC, automatic identification and data capture, like barcodes, RFID, and other technologies. In ISO committees, only national bodies vote on ballot initiatives. In the US, ANSI has the US national body responsibilities, which assigns these duties to a committee called Insights. The U.S. Technical Advisory Group, TAG, advises Insights on how to vote on ballots because the folks at Insights are not necessarily experts in barcoding and related technologies. So ANSI has assigned the TAG administration to AIM, and correspondingly, AIM created ADC1 as the TAG Technical Advisory Group to the U.S. national body to SC31. So individuals technically do not vote in the TAG. The company they represent votes. So if you or your company would like to join the technical advisory group to SC31, please email adc1@aimglobal.org. So do you think that covers it, Mike?
I do. No, thank you for that. And I will give a moment if people have questions about that, since as Ray said, it could be a little confusing. So if you do have a question, if you want to chat that in right now, and we could go over that here. I'll just give one moment here to see if anything here pops up. If not, there's still time. You can reach me anytime. You can reach Ray as well. I can get a hold of him and we can go over this in greater detail. Doesn't seem like anything right now. So again, thank you, Ray. Looks like you explained it very well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a new work group that AIM has. We're very excited about it, and we established this new work group this year as the Visibility Technologies Industry Group. This group addresses the technologies that enable connection and data exchange with other systems over networks, as well as create complete transparency across the entire supply chain of products. This group is a merger of the former Internet of Things and Track and Trace groups to improve advocacy efforts on projects that had overlapping interest on both groups. Items we'll be working on this year is an IoT and food waste white paper addressing the global issue of food waste and how AIDC impacts creating a more sustainable world. Another item we're working on is a track and trace foundational paper. This paper goes over the different types of technologies that are part of a traceability system and the benefits of implementing a system. With artificial intelligence and robotics becoming a constant discussion point, this group has begun to outline a paper addressing AIDC's role in enabling good data to help advance artificial intelligence and robotics. And lastly, this group is also beginning to focus in on sustainability and the impact AIDC has in this space. We actually had a call literally a half hour ago, our first visibility technologies call, and we're looking into putting a portion of the AIM website to go over just what's going on in sustainability, what our AIM members are doing in the space, interesting case studies around sustainability and with AIDC. So it's really exciting. And joining the group right now, you can get on the ground floor of working on a project like this. And we're really excited about it because sustainability is such a huge focus in our whole world. So again, very excited and hope to get more participation on that project. Now, other ways we educate and impact the industry is through our podcast and webinar series. Our podcasts are recorded on a Zoom call, and we go over hot topics that are going on in the industry. So, for instance, in our newsletter tomorrow, we're going to have a UDI expert in Jay Crowley talking about the state of UDI and AIDC's involvement. We like to really highlight all the interesting things going on in the industry, and we invite all members to participate in these recordings. So if you are a member and are interested, reach out to me, and we can flesh out a topic. We also have had a lot of success with our webinar series. There are two types of webinars that we do. One is an educational series that is obviously focused on a topic of industry interest, but is more explaining and educating on the topic. And we also have a more sales-oriented one, which was where a member can focus on a solution to industry issues that they have. Now, educational webinars are free to all members. Well, sponsored webinars are a $500 fee for members, but do include the opted-in registrant list for the webinar. And all our webinars are posted on YouTube. And as you can see, I added some YouTube stats that just give you an idea of why we do that. We're also going to be posting our podcast now on YouTube as well, just to give that more life and more traction. Again, if you're interested in any of these opportunities, you can contact me. Another thing we have are member recordings that we've been recently doing. One's at industry shows and others are just via Zoom. So we have members come on to Zoom and do a brief 1 to 2 minute introduction of their organization or a solution that they have. Again, we've been getting really good traction posting this on LinkedIn and other social media avenues. And just this past year, we've been at industry events recording our members actually in their booths and just some of the products and solutions that they have in their booths. And we posted that in our newsletter and on social media as well. And again, we've been getting a lot of great traction with that. So that's something we're going to continue to do moving forward as another added benefit to our membership. And I'm going to get into that in a little more detail here in a slide or two. So look forward to that. And again, we want to promote your organization, and AIM is a driver of that. We have a product showcase email that goes out to our extensive email list, which highlights products, services, white papers, and more that you've produced. You can simply email me if you're interested, and with that email, add an image, 2 to 3 sentence description and a link, and we can direct people to, and we can then queue that up to be part of our next emails. We also love to share your news items on social media. So send those to us as well as events you will be at, and we'll make sure to promote those. We're going to be having opportunities to sponsor our newsletter and pages on our website as well here in the future. And these are highly viewed items that can give your organization even more exposure. We also have an expansive business directory, which people looking for solutions can go to and seek help. Updating your profile is key to getting great leads. So if this is something you haven't done or something you just want to learn more about, I'm always available for a consultation on how to navigate that and how to get the most bang for your buck out of that part of our website. So just again, reach out to me. Anything, questions you have, just reach out to me. Now, I also want to touch on some upcoming events. First, as I mentioned earlier, AIM is 50 and we are celebrating this all year. Be on the lookout as we'll be having a timeline of AIM and AIDC history coming out soon. We also have several great video packages coming soon on key moments in the industry. Along with that, we have several worldwide events this year, starting at RFID Journal Live, but also in October in the Asia Pacific region and in Europe in conjunction with Wireless IoT Tomorrow. There are sponsorship opportunities available for this, and with sponsorship, you will be featured at all the events and on many of our video packages as well. So reach out to me if there's interest in that. We also have our case study competition that's kicked off, and that showcases the great strides and impacts your solutions have made in the advancements of asset tracking. Entries are being accepted in the following categories: AIDC, blockchain, IoT, and RFID. Again, talking about industry events, I'll be at both ProMat and HIMSS in March and April, respectively. As I mentioned earlier with the member videos, if you're interested in having me record one for you, reach out beforehand and we can coordinate things accordingly. I can come to your booth before the show starts, during the show, whenever you feel is best. We can, come up with a game plan on what we want to do with that recording, and I'll record and we can post that again on social media platforms. And then I want you to join us in Seattle to engage, learn, and network with your peers and other leading experts. Registration is required whether you're attending in person or virtually, but these meetings will be open to members and non-members and will be joint industry and work group calls of AIM and AIM North America, which I mentioned those work groups earlier. We get a lot of product done at these meetings, and it's a great networking opportunity as well. So please reach out to me if you'd like to learn more. And if you have the opportunity, please join us. It's really a really great time and an innovative time for our industry. Also, AIM will be at RFID Journal Live. We'll be holding our annual breakfast event there, but we also have a special AIM pavilion for members. And also for members, we have several speaking opportunities that you may be interested in. So you can reach out to me for more information on these exciting opportunities for members. I'm also really excited. We've been working on a website update, and that should be coming out pretty soon in the next several months. It's a more crisp, clean website. It's going to have several opportunities for you to promote your business on it, and it's going to be easier to download store items. It's going to be easier to update your company profile. So we're really excited about this new update, and that will be coming out this year. So be on the lookout for that. And just several ways you can utilize our website more to help advance your business. Last thing I want to go over before we go into questions is that AIM, in partnership with Burnout Reports, conducted a global industry research report to develop insights on the growth, challenges, and opportunities of current and emerging technology innovations across multiple vertical markets. This report is based on 2 online surveys of AIDC end users and industry professionals that were conducted from June through August in 2022. The full report includes data and analysis for purchasing intentions on 19 specific AIDC product categories, purchasing intention and enterprise priority data on 27 technology investment areas, AIDC's professionals' growth expectations for multiple products, use cases and industries, actual and perceived drivers behind technology investment plans, leading obstacles end users are facing in advancing projects, plus more detailed analysis of leading AIDC buyer roles. This meaningful report is available for purchase on the AIM website right now, and members do receive a significant discount. So I suggest you go to that and get that now. Also, I will be conducting a webinar on March 7th for members only to go over this report in more detail. So if you are a member, make sure to register. Registration's open right now for that. So with that, I can open things up to questions if people have any on anything I went over today. And again, I know I went over a lot of things in a lot of detail. And again, I'm open to speaking with you one-on-one if you'd like to learn more about AIM, or if you're an AIM member and you just want to learn more how to navigate, through your membership and to get the most bang for your buck, just let me know. I'm more than happy to have a call like this one-on-one just to go over everything in greater detail. But if there are any questions, let me know right now. Again, I will put my email up here again. And so if you'd like to reach out to me to set up a one-on-one, that would be great. And if there's any other questions or comments, please reach out to me. I do want to thank Ray Delnecki and Bud Corville for being on the call too and providing some input. It's greatly appreciated, guys.
Thanks a lot.
So Mike, I would encourage anyone to join any of these groups or all of these groups, even if you don't have a whole lot of expertise in an area. You may find something that is extremely interesting, and you will learn about it, and then eventually be able to give your expertise based on your learnings to the rest of the group.
Absolutely, Ray. That's such a great point, and I do want to hammer that home, because not only can you, with these industry groups, learn more about a subject you might not totally have an understanding on, or that you just wanted to learn more about, but by being on these calls and asking questions, it helps us formulate better work product. So if there's any interest that you have at all in any of these, even if you, again, we have a group called the RFID Experts Group, but doesn't mean you have to be an RFID expert to be involved within that work group. We want everyone that's interested in RFID involved. We do have obviously a lot of experts in that group, and it's together that we develop these great products. So I want to thank everyone again for joining. I'm looking forward to getting some emails and hopefully having more conversation with these guys about AIM and AIM benefits. So enjoy the rest of your day and hope to talk to a lot of you soon.